It's an honor, of course, to be with you this week as we celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day. Every October, the United States has recognized the voyage of the European explorers who first landed on the shores of the Americas. But that is not the whole story.
Hey fam, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another reaction. This is Segovia coming to you live from the man cave. Hope everyone out there is having a good day, y'all. We're back. It's that time of the day again. We're back with another reaction. We got a good one today. I'm feeling close to 100%. Been sick for pretty much a week, right? Feeling better, ready to get in here, get this reaction done. Hopefully the video turns green. Yesterday it was yellow, but it turned green within an hour. So hopefully we have the same outcome today. But you know my slogan, y'all. I ain't gonna sit here and talk your guys' ears off. Enough with the chit chat. We got our sparkling water right here. Let's get into the reaction. Enjoy the show.
No people built the pyramid.
No people? Who built them?
No people built the pyramid. And if you look around the world, you see certain telltale things that let you know that advanced machinery was in usage. Yes, thousands of years worth of people were there. That doesn't have anything to do with the building.
Who do you think built it?
If you follow that information pathway, it leads you to this character called Thoth. And the emerald tablets of Thoth are literally mind-changing and mind-blowing.
The Egyptian god Thoth appeared in Greco-Roman Egypt. Those texts, known as the Hermetica, are a heterogeneous collection of works that in the modern day era are commonly subdivided into two groups: the technical Hermetica, comprising of astrological, medico-botanical, alchemical, and magical writings, and the religio-philosophical Hermetica, comprising of mystical philosophical writings. Holy so this dude was probably an alien.
He literally says, hey, there's a spaceship on Earth, and this is where it is. Even if you could do it, let me ask you this. Would you build it on sand?
Wouldn't it be crazy that on the day of the devastating fire in Maui, no alarms were sounded to warn the people? Wouldn't it be crazy that on the day of the devastating fire, local firefighters reported that nearly all of the fire hydrants had no water in them? Wouldn't it be crazy if local police officers directed people down to Front Street only to leave them stranded and trapped amongst the blaze? Wouldn't it be crazy if the fire was so hot that it melted metal? And wouldn't it be crazy if the average forest fire temperature is not hot enough to do that? Wouldn't it be crazy if blue cars and blue homes were unaffected by the fire for some reason? Wouldn't it be crazy if the mayor of Maui declined to answer questions about the 2,000 allegedly missing after the fire? Wouldn't it be crazy if they put a massive wall around the city after the fire so that no one could see what's going on with the rebuilding process? Wouldn't it be crazy if the chief of police of Maui was the same man who was in charge of the investigation of the Las Vegas shooting in 2017?
That's crazy.
Wouldn't it be crazy if a Build Back Better conference had been hosted in Maui just a few months prior to the massive fire? And isn't it crazy that to this day, the media has not really looked into any of these things or taken any of them seriously? Yeah, that would be crazy. That'd be crazy.
So for those who laughed at my previous video about the US dollar collapsing, this narrative's just gone public with 2 weeks notice. Get ready. Operation Sandman, you aware of that? For those who don't know, Operation Sandman's a collaboration of over 100 nations in agreement to simultaneously sell off their US Treasury holdings, which are government bonds, selling them back to the US to collapse the US dollar. The narrative just went public with 2 weeks notice. Get ready. The BRICS nations are holding a conference which is coming up. They've just announced their own gold-backed, asset-backed currency, which they're going to be using to trade. More and more countries are now joining the BRICS alliance. Saudi Arabia, I'm reading, has applied to join, which means that they won't be selling oil in petrodollars anymore. And when you combine with this Operation Sandman, it's good night Vienna for the dollar. If you're holding US dollars, start to think about maybe some other currencies. Start to make some arrangements in regards to that. But again, this is not financial advice. I'm not advising you to do anything. Do your own research, folks. But yeah, honestly. The BRICS nations and basically the dominance of the US dollar is now going to be coming to an end. Times are changing, folks. This will most likely, they'll do this on a Sunday. This will happen and it will crash the stock market on the Monday morning. And the US dollar quickly follows suit. So will the way of life in the USA as you've known it. So again, 2 weeks, I believe, until the BRICS conference. Their currency is coming out 1st of November. Clock is ticking, folks. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay blessed. Take care.
That was December of 2023.
Remember we were talking about the conspiracy around the hurricane stuff?
Yep.
Yes. Literally after we stopped filming it, I saw like 10 or so posts talking about this area in North Carolina that is one of the world's largest deposits of lithium.
Oh gosh.
And it's in a residential zone.
Yeah, you can't mine it.
And they've gone to these people supposedly and said, we'd like to purchase your land. And they all refused.
Are you kidding me?
And now that exact same spot is
Wiped out.
This is Maui all over again.
it's lithium rich in this area that was wiped out.
And so now we have to keep an eye on that area because what the flip are they going to do there, dude?
But yeah,
Yeah.
people won't be able to afford to rebuild. So if
Yeah.
someone can come in and cover like the remaining mortgage, families will go somewhere else and start over, leaving
Yeah.
the land behind.
What do you think about all this shit that's come out about all these people in Hollywood?
I would have agents and William Morris guys, and they go, oh, Bill Cosby's a douchebag. Man, that guy's such a douche or whatever. Or people that used to work for Ellen. I'd go like, what was it like working for Ellen? I signed an NDA, but ugh. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And you just go, all right, I kind of get it. As far as like the Harvey Weinstein stuff and all that, I've never been on the inside of Hollywood. I didn't go to the parties and I didn't rub elbows with the people. I knew some celebrities that were like genuinely friendly people, but I really don't know what's going on in Hollywood. I never did. I always just worked and then went straight home and started monkeying with some car related thing.
You want to?
Okay, a part of me right now was like, sure, that's what they all say. But then a part of me is like, maybe he's on all these podcasts. I don't know if he's on all these podcasts. I just saw this clip because he doesn't, he knows what's going on, but he's not involved in it, right? All the people that are involved, like Justin Bieber, Jamie Foxx, all of them, they're nowhere to be found. They're not talking. I don't follow them on social media, so I don't know what's being posted and what's not. Who knows? But it's funny how they all say, I never went to the parties. I never did this. I didn't know about this. I wasn't on the inside, but yet I'm a billionaire in Hollywood. It's hard to see who's real and who's not, right?
A real rabbit hole? We're going to Turkey. Turkey has some of the wildest stuff on the planet, hands down. Who makes it? Look at this. This is Eagle Castle. I'm probably butchering that name, but does that not look like a pillar to you? Like a giant pillar? That's huge. Look at the boat. There's a rock-cut monastery
that's crazy.
that you can go inside, just like the one in Ethiopia. When you go inside this one, it's decorated head to toe like a cathedral. Turkey is ancient. We have megalithic architecture and rock-cut temples in Sorna, the city of oracles, and the ancient theater of Side rivals the Colosseum in Rome. It's insane. Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe are also in Turkey. These two push civilization back 5,000 years from what we thought. They were buried really fast, like something was happening outside. The fact that every ancient culture has a flood myth would make Derinkuyu make sense. It's an 8-story underground city with locking doors, water access, and air vents. 20,000 people can live in this city, and it is connected by a 5-mile-long tunnel to Kemakli, another underground city, forming a network of over 200 underground cities in Turkey. Its next-door neighbor, Armenia, has a megalithic avenue similar to Karnak in France, making this whole area the most mysterious thing I've ever seen. Have fun with that rabbit hole.
That Titan sub that was near the Titanic, that was a big giveaway because what happened? All the news stations had these oxygen counters going down. They've got 48 hours of oxygen left or whatever.
There's about 40 hours of breathable air left.
The Navy knew that sub imploded for 5 days and they never said anything. And then after it turned out that we found out that it imploded, they came out and admitted, yes, it imploded. And the thing that was really kind of revealing to me is how quickly the Navy went down and found the parts. Like they had triangulated the exact location of that sub. That's a tiny little submersible. So if they could detect that, how could they not detect a Boeing 777 crashing into the ocean?
True.
That's foil, maybe a contractor bag. That's what the rocket is. It's a contractor bag on a fucking thruster. Get the fuck out. Hey, where's all the stars and planets at? Oh, there isn't any? Weird that fucking outer space would just be an empty vacuum, right? Spare me your horse shit. This right here is the topinator. We got the toperator, but we got to make sure we got enough bag fluid in order to keep the topinator going.
Good evening, America. Tonight, we address a story that has been clouded in secrecy. We've attempted multiple times to bring you details about an ongoing federal investigation involving a New York resident named Fitz. However, the Pentagon and the Department of Homeland Security have denied us permission to report in full. What we can confirm is that Fitz was present at the Bayside Marketplace on January 1st, where he allegedly witnessed something classified. He captured footage of the event, and that footage, we are told, is of critical importance. As a result, he's missing, his whereabouts unknown, following weeks of surveillance and federal interest. The government has refused to release any further information, and we are being warned not to press deeper. But the American people have the right to know why a citizen, an ordinary witness, has disappeared. What is the government hiding? We will continue to push for answers despite the barriers we face. This is about more than one man. It's about transparency and accountability. Thank you for joining us. We will keep you informed as this story develops.
Now that's how crazy AI is, right? At first, I didn't watch that full clip. I just thought, oh, maybe something's happening. Let me throw it on, right? I edit stuff out as I'm watching. But I think I'm going to keep that in. I wrote down to edit that out. That's how crazy AI is. This guy just put his social media on a ABC News breaking news headline thing. And I'm sure he's going to make his rounds on TikTok, on YouTube videos. That's how strong and how scary AI is. Because I saw another clip of the Pierre, the lady with the fro that does the press conferences for the White House. But that one I can tell was AI, but it was the same thing. So I was like, oh, maybe there's some significance to it. So I threw this one on because the first 10 seconds looked kind of legit. But that's AI, ladies and gentlemen. That's AI.
Are getting destroyed, and it's very recent, and it's accelerating. The stats speak for themselves. You know this very well. 74% of Americans are overweight or obese. 50% now of American adults have type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. These were diseases where there was 1% of Americans in 1950 had type 2 diabetes. Now it's 50% of Americans have prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Alzheimer's, dementia are going through the roof. Young adult dementias have increased like 3 times since 2012. So early onset dementias, we're seeing, this 1 in 2 Americans are expected to have cancer in their lifetime now, 1 in 2, and young adult cancers are going up 79% in the last 10 years. We've got, of course, the autism rates are absolutely astronomical. 1 in 36 children has autism now in the United States. That was 1 in 150 in the year 2000. And in California, where I live, it's 1 in 22 with a lifetime neurodevelopmental disorder. We've got infertility going up 1% per year. 25% of men now under 40 have erectile dysfunction. A quarter of the country. This is fundamentally a metabolic disease. We've got 77% of young Americans can't serve in the military because of obesity or drug abuse. We've got autoimmune diseases. Some studies are saying they're going up 13% per year. It's really unbelievable. And I could go through so many more diseases. Of course, we've got heart disease, which is almost totally preventable, as the leading cause of death in the United States, killing around 800,000 people per year.
Okay, this is a longer clip, but I'm getting the feeling that our biggest enemy isn't out of the country. It isn't Russia. It isn't China. It isn't North Korea. It's not Afghanistan. It's not ISIS. It's not Al Qaeda. The biggest enemy to us are the elites that run it. And they're getting away with it. Legal. They're doing it legally. To their own people. For $1.
And I think as I kind of just looked around, and again, these are just statistics, I started trying to put the pieces together. why is this happening? Why are these all going up all at once? And that led me on what is now a 7-8 year journey, ultimately leaving the surgical world, putting down my scalpel forever. Because what I realized is that when you go to the science with a root cause perspective, you go back to PubMed with a slightly different perspective, not how do I treat these diseases once they emerge, but why are they happening? You see a very obvious blaring answer, which is why we had to write a book about it, which is that it's all caused by metabolic dysfunction, a term that I never learned in medical school. I learned about metabolic syndrome and the different individual diseases that make it up, but there is a problem. There is a fundamental breaking of our core cellular biology that is caused by our diet and the world we're living in, the modern world we're living in today, that is crushing the very way that the human body and our human cells can transmit food energy to life energy, to cellular energy. And so our bodies are essentially, fundamentally, because metabolic health is how we make energy in the body, the way that our environment is now synergistic to storing our metabolic health, and the science is very clear about this, it's basically like all of us are a little bit dead while we're alive. That's what metabolic dysfunction is. It's less energy in the body. We're underpowered. And that's very dark.
What are they doing? What are they looking at? Oh, no.
I don't know, but if I'm at this football game, I'm not going to keep sitting there knowing what we know happens at these type of events. I'm not even going to say it, Las Vegas, when they have the higher point aiming down. I am not going to sit there and film that. I might film it, but I'm going to get to some cover. You never know. Who knows if these people are military? Who knows? They might just be a random Joe Schmo up there. That's crazy. I'd be warning people like, hey, we need to get out of here, little beings. I gotta be so careful on YouTube now, y'all. I hate it, but it's just what it is. But you hear the voices in the background. That could turn bad quick. That's at the game. Look at that.
They're looking at somebody.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit there in the wide open.
The thing that's really suspicious with Brittany Murphy's death is she had the same coroner as Kim Porter. His name was Ed Winters, and he also did Paul Walker's, Whitney Houston's, Tom Petty's, and Michael Jackson's autopsies. He ended up dying before Kim Porter's second autopsy.
The coroner did?
The coroner died between Kim Porter's first and second autopsies.
Super weird.
Yeah, it's super, super weird.
Oh, we're about to see in the next clip what's
North
happening.
Korea are actually doing it. Today, they have officially begun blowing up all roads and railways connecting them to South Korea. And this really marks a pretty substantial turning point, because for the longest time, reunification of the two countries has always been the stated goal for Kim Jong-un. But this year, everything changed. He changed the constitution to designate them as principal enemy. They obviously had their trash balloon wars. We saw that they started building a wall by the border, and now they're literally blowing up all inter-Korean roads and railways to completely separate the two countries.
Most of the doctors don't even know what they're talking about. Cancer is a $90 billion industry. Do you think they're going to stop cancer? No. The second somebody came out with the way to get rid of cancer, it was gone. I had a major car accident and I had almost like a broken back, and they wanted me to get a surgery for my back, and the surgery was going to be 50-50 if you could walk or not. And then I ended up not even doing the surgery. I fixed my back by myself. So I took enough time to not get the surgery done and look into more things. And I started to sit in the ice. I started to do breathing patterns by Wim Hof. And I learned so much about the body that I realized that the body could repair itself. You actually don't need surgeries. But the thing is, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So what are you gonna do? We're not gonna stop. It's not unlawful. It's not illegal for them to keep you sick for 30 years when they can make you healthy within a week. But ever since the insurance companies went into that, then now it's a monopoly. Now it's the medical, the Western medicine, all these pills.
It's a huge business.
Huge
business.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say don't go to the doctor and get surgeries, but I think there's a lot of power to fasting, you know, breathing techniques, things like that, to add to the surgeries and all that. And maybe if you start doing it consistently, myself included, it can prevent a lot of those future health problems where you don't need to go do all that stuff.
Walmart apologizing for that hideous sweater right there on your screen. Selling sweaters that appeared with show Santa Claus there with lines of. The sweater says, "Let it snow," and includes 3 white lines. Part of the description says this, quote, "The best snow comes straight from South America," and that Santa really likes to savor the moment when he gets his hands on some quality grade A Colombian snow. The sweater was sold online by Canada by a third-party vendor there. Since then, they tell us it's been moved.
It is an honor, of course, to be with you this week as we celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day. Every October, the United States has recognized the voyage of the European explorers who first landed on the shores of the Americas. But that is not the whole story. Those explorers ushered in a wave of devastation for tribal nations, perpetrating violence, stealing land, and spreading disease. We must not shy away from this shameful past.
Never burn candles in your home. Why not?
When you light a candle, you're not just liberating fragrance chemicals, but there also is toluene, benzene, and other toxic chemicals that are known to be human carcinogens through the route of inhalation being released into the air. We don't necessarily need candles anymore, but people use them for religious reasons. There's many reasons to use candles. But when you are using a conventional candle with synthetic dyes, petroleum-based wax, and synthetic undisclosed fragrance in particular, you're releasing particulate matter, ultrafine particulate matter, which is the most hazardous type. So we really need to be careful, especially if you have kids. These chemicals are not just staying in the air, they attach to house dust and deposit on the surfaces of your home. So if you have a baby that's crawling around on the floor, putting things in his or her mouth, they're inhaling all of this and ingesting all of these particles. They cannot detoxify the way that adults can. Their bodies are developing, and these early life exposures have lifelong consequences.
It's good to know. I got a baby on the way. Not really much of a candle person myself because I don't want to leave the house and I forget to put it out. But it's good to know. But I've kind of known that, you know, things ain't supposed to smell like pumpkin spice. That can't be good for you, you know. But damn, I love some fall pumpkin spice, y'all. I'm basic over here. Look at this thing. People throwing rocks at it. That's a big boy.
Russia gets what they want. China gets to test Western resolve and deplete Western resources in the Russia conflict while they buy time to take the Taiwan target. And by the time they take the Taiwan target, the resources and the will of the West have been drained and tested, so the Taiwan target goes even faster. And now Russia's expanded, China's expanded, and they're a partnership. You got these two countries, the enemy of my enemy. They both don't want the United States to have the big club in the room. So they want to help each other. I mean, 6 weeks before the invasion, made their long-term partnership deal together.
Right? I didn't realize that was 6 weeks before.
Oh yeah, right before. They
shit.
promised long-term cooperation between the two countries, right? This is a big part of why I believe that case for Taiwan, right? It's a big part of it. Because of that, you've got two countries run by similar-minded leaders with populations that are similarly conditioned to strongman rule. They can basically drive whatever policy they want to drive. So that means they can constantly support each other in a very dynamic and adaptable way.
Why are gargoyles on churches? Here's the reason. They served several purposes, but one was as a water spout. These gargoyles kept rainwater from running down the sides of these churches and directed the water away from the church's foundations. However, they served a spiritual purpose as well. People believed gargoyles could scare away evil spirits and protect the church. Their disfigured faces also served as a reminder to the townspeople of the dangers of sin and their need for salvation. Interesting fact, the word gargoyle comes from this French word which means throat because of their water spout function.
They're trying to silence this guy and make him seem crazy because he's exposing a $5 billion industry. Listen carefully to what he says.
So we're here at Popeyes with a spicy chicken sandwich. This is the grand winner of them all with the most ingredients ever of all my reviews with 142 ingredients. And there's 3 doses of MSG. You got it injected into the chicken. You have it in the batter and also in the spicy sauce. And as a bonus, you get red dye number 3 in your chicken sandwich. The FDA banned this in cosmetics, but it's okay to eat here.
This is unbelievable. I thought it couldn't possibly have more than 10 ingredients, but it actually has 142. And to make things worse, none of them are healthy. Red dye number 3 literally causes intestinal inflammation, gut dysfunction, bloating, diarrhea, etc. And apparently the FDA approves its use in food and medications, but not in beauty products because it may increase the risk of cancer. It's causing serious damage to your gut from the inside out.
Daddy never saw anything where I could feel alive. Stop eating that fun sugar.
You were spoiling your dinner.
Papa, we saw the galaxy turn flat. Big waves came up and flooded the whole city. And when the water went back, it was all muddy and horrible. Florida. Flood. Big waves came up and flooded the whole city. And when the water went back, it was all muddy and horrible. Florida. Never been anything like it in the whole world. We don't have to come here on a train or stay in a hotel. It's right in our own hometown. Grandpa, they'll never tear it down, will they?
Well, they'd better not.
I can't believe it. Right here where we live. Right here in St. Louis.
There you go.
Obviously, it's subjective because, you know, it's music and it's opinion based. But, you know, some things, you know, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work.
My artist of my life is Beyonce, and this album to me, the Lemonade album, was just so monumental. Beyonce, it was so monumental.
Some of you don't belong in the category. Oh, no, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Because you think that's a sign of strength? Because that's what being a man is? Putting women down? That's not acceptable.
Before Stephen A. breaks it down, I like Stephen A. Guy from ESPN talking like he's going to talk. Now, I haven't seen this clip, but I like to hear his input. But I haven't heard one person come out, gotten some comments, but I haven't heard one person come out and say, I ain't going to vote for her because she's a woman. Or I ain't going to vote for her because she's a woman of color. I've never heard that. We're just not going to vote for you because who are you? That's why.
Respectfully, President Obama.
Former.
What you said is not acceptable. I'm going to say it again. Respectfully, what you said is not acceptable. Not to me, not to a host of black men out there who's not even thinking about voting for Donald Trump. What you said is unacceptable. You're basically accusing black men who come up with a reason to not support Kamala Harris as engaging in misogyny. Whatever happened to disagreeing without being disagreeable, President Obama?
Warmer.
What happened to that? All of a sudden, we want to challenge men and our love and our affection as black men for black women. We want to bring that into question because we've got an election coming up and people may have the temerity to think differently than you. A black man asking, what about us, is not a crime. It's not misogyny. It's us exercising our rights as American citizens to question why you should have our support, which you yourself as the president for 8 years told us we had every right to do. That's all I'm going to say for now. Love me some Barack Obama. Always have, always will. Just very disappointed that you would say that to black men who are a bit apprehensive. I'm voting for Kamala, so you weren't talking to me. But still, it's not right for you to say that, sir. It's just wrong.
Isn't it weird that no matter what day or what time of day you fly, there's always a plane full of people going the exact same place you are? Like, really? Everybody here is going to Myrtle Beach from Pittsburgh on a random Wednesday morning? Like, that seems so fake. Stop it.
Most entertainers are perverted one way or another. Most of them are. And a lot of the managers are. And a lot of the record producers are. And so what they do, they tie hand in hand. So you go into the studio, you get high, and then you do your act.
You never found satisfaction.
It wasn't no satisfaction. I was sick. I had to stay high all the time to feel like a natural person. I had to just be, and it's a sickness because you would feel bad when you do it. And after a while, you get so that you don't hear that little voice no more.
What happened?
Proverbs, the 22nd chapter, verse 1, that a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. More than love and favors, rather than silver or gold, the rich and the poor mixed together, God is the maker of them all. Then he was telling me in Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all of these things will be added unto you.
Amen.
And I'm just glad that I heard the voice of Jesus calling.
As soon as India sent that satellite to Mars and took a color image of Mars, the real color, with the oceans and the water and everything of Mars, the director of NASA flew straight to India, and the next thing you know, about a month later, they're signing a deal. There's a whole press release about it, and they now put them under their umbrella. And the next thing you know, that image, they put something called false color on it, turned the whole thing red. And a new one just came out. This new image of Mars.
How long ago?
Just the other day.
Really?
They finally let somebody see what Mars really looks like. That's it right there.
What is all the blue supposed to be?
Water.
Really?
Guess what they just said about Mars recently? They said that the soil on Mars is better for growing crops than the soil on Earth.
It looked CGI to me. Still don't look legit.
Have y'all seen this technology yet? This shit's crazy. So this thing scans your body, scans your face, and it shows you your flight information, but no one else can read your flight information, only you. Check this out, y'all. This is crazy. It's pretty scary. Look at this.
Delta's parallel reality experience. What happens when you walk through here and go up to that gate? It scans your face, and when you look up there, you'll get your flight info, but only from your point of view.
I can't see it.
You can't see it?
No. That's so cool.
It has to be the phone.
Yeah.
No, that's my info.
Are you able to read his stuff up there at all or no?
No, I can see a picture.
So did y'all see that? He walks through a portal, it scans him, and only he can see what his information says. So is this a form of like facial recognition? Like, how does it know what face to match up the correct information? Like, that's weird, y'all. So you telling me that they have this type of technology at the airport? This is in Detroit, by the way, y'all. I mean, y'all saw the camera. That couldn't even pick up on the information. It seemed like the pixels, it was distorted and all that. And the lady said she could only see a plane. So y'all noticing the theme as of late, right? That's more things that have to do with portals entering into our world now. And like I said, this is only going to get a lot more interesting. Let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comments below. Let's continue to get this shift, y'all. Peace in.
That's crazy. And it even said parallel reality before you walk in. That's a trip. That's a trip.
Hot dogs, it can't be good. This can't be good. What's in a hot dog? Oh, of course. Microplastics. Gross. I mean, in case you didn't know, hot dogs are not super healthy food for humans. This is ultra processed meat. Oftentimes this type of meat gets conflated or confused with unprocessed meat like a steak or a hamburger. It's striking to see that in ultra processed foods like hot dogs and even things like American quote cheese, which isn't real cheese, it's full of microplastics. It's full of garbage little pieces of plastic that are not good for us as humans. So what's the takeaway here? Don't be fooled by ultra processed meat, ultra processed cheese, ultra processed foods in general. Red meat, chicken, fish, eggs, fine. Even pork if you want to do that. And unprocessed plant foods. Focus on fruit and vegetables if you want. I'm not a huge fan of vegetables, but many people can tolerate them. If you make the majority of your diet unprocessed animal and plant foods, you'll be healthy and you'll lose weight. It's as simple as that. Don't overcomplicate it, guys.
Did you guys know that Jay-Z's birthday is December 4th, Diddy's birthday is November 4th, and Beyonce's birthday is September 4th? Jay-Z had an album 444, Leah died August 25th, Left Eye died April 25th, Michael Jackson died June 25th. In J. Cole's song, he says, "Rest in peace, Aaliyah, rest in peace, Left Eye, Michael Jackson, I'll see ya just as soon as I die." This is a song that has been trending, which is She Knows by J. Cole. A lot of people are saying She Knows sounds like Sean Knowles. Jay-Z's name is Sean. Diddy's name is Sean, just spelled differently. Beyonce's last name is Knowles. Sean Knowles, She Knows, Sean Knowles, She Knows. What is going on here? J. Cole also referenced Apple Pie, which is a Destiny's Child song named Apple Pie. Another crazy thing is when Beyonce made her country album, recently a country star shouted her out. Thank you, Beyonce, just like how everything, that we've been seeing on TikTok, the country star did it too.
I also just want to say, I'm a country artist, and the fact that Beyonce made a country record changed the game.
Thank you, Beyonce. So thank you. That's crazy. Beyonce looks surprised. Is she really surprised?
I'm gonna go back to Nashville.
With the theory being that you have to thank Beyonce in order to be okay. It's just wild, and all of these theories coming together, I don't know if they make sense, but I think the craziest thing is JoJo Siwa thanking Beyonce.
The government would like you to know that the spreading of dangerous disinformation is their job, and they've had a monopoly on it for years, until the invention of social media, which has allowed people to spread lies that are eventually proven true, and this severely limits the government's ability to create and control the narrative.
All right, family, there you have today's reaction. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope the video gets to come out today. If not, I'll see you when I see you. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe. We try to do daily uploads if YouTube allows it. We do daily uploads over here. Second channel down below. I know I've been inconsistent over there, but new house, hopefully Thursday. We're supposed to close, move in Friday. We'll get in our routine. Right now my routine's all over. I'm packing, I'm going to the store to get this, I'm talking to realtors, I'm talking to the loan officer, I'm doing it all. So I'm actually selling a house and purchasing a house, so it's been a headache. I gotta make sure I get a video on my big channel out to you guys, but when we get out there and we get in our routine, we'll start working on both channels, y'all. I promise you. But anyways, y'all, this is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. Hope everyone out there has a good day. I'm gonna see you hopefully today and tomorrow. Later.